So you were saying?
Oh, so you do link and then it'll be rel space rel.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Quotation marks.
Yeah, equals and then quotation marks, like we said, and then it'll be style sheet, and then it'll be space href,
Okay.
and then
And then
equals.
whatever file we want, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, so remember, guys, it has to be in the same folder, okay? Otherwise, if you try to bring, let's say, a file from pre-work, okay, this is just an example. If you're trying to use file from here, it won't work. It has to be within the file, okay? With, you know, they have to be together. Otherwise, there's another method to use, like imports, things like that. That's much advanced, okay? So, so in this, we can really connect it now. So in the main file, so you create a JavaScript file, console.log. Hello. Okay. So you're saying here in JavaScript, console.log. Okay. Inside of this bracket, you have hello world, right? You're asking the computer to print me console.log hello world. Okay. So you save it. Then inside this index HTML, open it live server, right?
Yes.
You only see the text here because this is HTML. In order to see the JavaScript, you have to go to inspect, okay, console. See, look at it. Hello world. It gives you this hello world. Other way to do it is another way would be you go to your terminal. See, if you want to see the output from here, all you have to do is just node space main.js, or you can do this too, main like this. Okay, because that's the file name. Anyway, this is a little bit of ahead right now. We just ahead of. Okay. Okay. So we create this little file here. Okay. You guys need to watch that video I sent you in order for you to connect the Git to GitHub to your system. That's really important. So if you want to upload this file to GitHub, okay, let me go to my GitHub account. Okay, this is my GitHub, right? Can you walk me through, Abraham? How do you create a directory?
Repository?
Yeah.
A repository?
Yes.
Don't you press on your profile?
Yeah, it's somewhere here. Like I see it right in front of us.
The new button, I guess?
Yes. New button. Always you create a new button. They call it repository. Okay. Repo. Okay. So we name it whichever name, homework, example, right?
Yeah.
GitHub. All right. So we don't remember what we say. You don't have to click this readme box. Okay.
Okay.
You can go straight to create repository. Okay. So it gives you this little description here. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, all you have to do just follow it. Git init, right? Copy it. Go to your terminal. Yeah. So git init. So automatically it's gonna initialize a new Git for you. Okay, a new file. Okay. You see this U? It's all new here, but it's all U, which means it's like if you see here, it hasn't really like it's untracked. You see, it hasn't tracked by Git yet. Okay, but it's telling us that untracked means like in the previous we haven't created a file like this before, the same exact one. Okay, So it's giving us, it couldn't track it, like it didn't have a previous code before like this, 16 lines of code like this. It's just simple, okay? So that means, it's not saved as well, okay? So we go back to our Git and we skip this one, skip this readme. You don't have to create this. If you want, you can create, you can go back to your file, okay? Press this.
Okay.
So you can say readme.md, right?
Yeah.
And hit enter. And you can write description if you like, if you want to describe how your project is going and what the readers might expect from this application, right? So creating new JavaScript file, okay, with GitHub, okay, like something like that. So when you put like hashtag like this, it means it's a title. So readme file, which is MD, which is Markdown, as part of like files. Okay, it's just a file.
Is the number sign the comments?
No, actually, it's a title like H1 or something like that.
Oh, okay.
So 1H is like you can also watch it online. Like there's a lot of like here you can know about it's called Markdown. Okay.
Okay.
So like it will tell you like how you create, like heading would be like H1 would be one hashtag, H2 is two hashtag, bold is like this, okay, 2 stars front, 2 star in the back, italic is, that's how you do italic, block quote, okay. If you want to write order list, you just have to type in 1, 2, 3, something like that. It's called Markdown. So we just need like H2, something like that. This is my first. If you want paragraph, what do you do? Paragraph? Does it have it? It doesn't have anything. I don't know why. Paragraph. Okay. A table. Okay, maybe let's try that. Okay, this is my first GitHub upload. Okay, something like that. All right, you save it as part of your files. Okay, so we don't need it. So it's you, right? It's on track now. So go back to your GitHub. Okay, so git commit -m first commit, right? Copy it. This is a little description about your commit, okay? So a users or a reader can see it, okay, why he has this commit. This is the little description here in the quotation here, all right? So hit enter. Okay, so it's telling you that the files you just created, they're not saved, or they're untracked files. So all you have to do next is, okay, so copy all this exactly how it is. Copy it, because you just created this repo, right? So copy it and paste it here. Enter. All right. If you don't see no error, that means it went through. Then the next one would be, the last one would be git push.u origin master. Okay. Copy it and paste it. So it's telling us it's failed. Something is wrong. Maybe we need to git add. Okay, so to see the status, okay, so now your number used to be U, now it's A. What do you think might say A to you? Let's click it. So that means um, saved and it's already in track, right? It's already committed.
Okay.
So we go back here. Okay, so if you want to go back to your text, you can just press the arrow button to go back. Let's commit again. Okay, now it should work. Um, then, okay, and then push the master. See, it went through, right? Everything is okay. So go back to your Git. All you have to do just refresh it. Okay, look, we just uploaded it to GitHub 21 seconds ago. You see, we created this file, readmd.
Yeah.
It's just a
Yeah.
description. It has a main.js, okay, just one line of code. It's nothing, but your index, everything is on GitHub now. Okay. We just created the file and then we upload it into GitHub. That's how you do it. So, okay, so do you have any question regarding to this? Because you see, we created, the file within, the folder, right? So we have everything files here on a VS Code. It has to work, okay? So it has to be within the files in the folder. All right.
Okay.
I answered your question, right?
Yeah.
So, all right. So if we have a little bit of time, let's just focus on Flexbox, okay, for today. All right, then I'm gonna show you how you connect your GitHub to your system, okay? Like local remote repos, okay?
Okay.
All right, guys. Okay, so let me go back to. Okay, we're done with this. So, all right, let me. All right. All right. So, okay, let me show you just two samples of how you can do Flexbox. Okay. So they will be like our last CSS. But whenever you have questions, let me know. Just we'll figure it out. Okay. If I don't know, I mean, I'll tell you I don't know. I'll figure it out. Okay.
Okay.
That's how it works. Like we all help each other out.
Do you want us to send you the file or just you want the questions?
I'm just gonna show you like how to do it because I just want your effort. Okay.
Okay.
So hold on. Let me open my GitHub. So Flexbox, right? I'm gonna show you the first example. Okay. So let's say, okay, I'm gonna make it really short. Okay. Let's say we have this line of code in the HTML. Can you guys see it?
Yeah.
Okay, so we have header. Okay, header. Inside of it, we have a header here. Okay, so inside of main, we have main file. Main tag. Inside of that, we have three codes, right? Articles, article, nav, nav, aside, aside, footer, footer, right? But it looks
Yeah.
ugly like this. We don't want to post it like this, we have to fix it. We have to use CSS, right? We have a header, comma, main is this part of article, right? Because inside of main, we have article, comma, we have nav, comma, we have a side, and then a footer, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, so we just have to leave a comma. So
They're all on the same like line.
it's just a stack to one another, right? Like it's
Okay.
just like that's not what we want, but we want it to be hold on. Right? That's what we want it to be. The header to be the top, the footer to be the bottom, and articles could be fixing in their own. So let's just use main. Main. So inside the main, we don't want to touch the header, right? Or the footer. We want to just like that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's assume that. Okay, so we call it display. What do we want to display? Flex, right? So look at it now. It's already fixed. I mean,
Oh,
yeah,
that's fast.
yeah. Because we did some jobs here, like we aligned it into the center. I mean, that's the text itself, but we gave it background of this and border. We give it 2x solid. All right. So that's what we want it to be. That's how Flex works. Yeah.
Can you do this with pictures too, or
pictures?
Yeah, like have.
Yeah, we use order as well. Order too. Order and then min. Okay, minimum min width 12 EM, and then flex 1. All right. So we use another for nav. We use this code. Nav, which is this, right? We want it to be like, this is wrong, but we're gonna fix it. It has to be like on the left side. So we're calling another order with main on the side of order 3 width 20. You see how it looks now? We just switched it. So navigation is right here. The header could be H1 here. The article could look like that, and a side like this, and a footer, just the way it is. Okay, we use order for the article. We want it we want it to be next to the nav, so we call order 2. Okay, and then a side, you see, order 3. So we want to order it to because it used to be over, like used to be an article would be on the left side, I believe. Look at it. See, it used to be like this. You remember we designed it this way? The article used to be like the first line after the header. Now we switch places. This is like the original one, so right. And when we add order will help you ordering, then navigate through the boxes for you. Now it looks like that. You guys understand this?
Yeah.
Also, guys, so the second project, okay, this is what it looks like. Okay, we have, all right, it's just 1, 2, 3, right? It's nothing new about it, right? We have div as a wrapping, right? We have inside the div, we have 1, 2, 3. We have 3 divs, right? Inside of each, we have span, okay? We have span 1, span 2, span 3. What is span? Do you guys know?
No.
Someone? Can you tell me just one single meaning of span? What does it do? What does it help you do? What is it actually like?
I have no idea.
It's an inline code, okay? Span is part of.
Is it for the CSS or?
Oh no, this is part of. Yeah, CSS uses it as styling, but we use it for inline coding. Like let's say you have so many like H1, you know, so many P tags, things like that. If you want to wrap around some things, you can use span. Okay, so it's not a block code, right? It's a what? Div is what?
A div
What
is like isn't it basically
division? Like it's dividing your section, right? But it's a block. It's a block code. But span is not a block code. Okay. So you might the interviewer might ask you that question. Okay. They might ask you what's the difference between span and div. Okay, that's one of the questions they ask you. So we have this, right? So we have 3 divs. Inside of them, we have a span. Inside of a span, we have the numbers 1, 2, 3, right? This is what it looks like. 1, 2, 3. So let's add in CSS. Okay, can anyone tell me what does this do? What does this do? Do you know? A star. What is a star in CSS? CSS, it's a universal, okay? It's called universal selector. Okay, so whenever you put star, that means you are really wanna use all of it, all the elements in your CSS, in your HTML, okay? All of it, including the body, including the whole section. So we have, okay, so inside of div, we have a class, right? We have box dash 1, box dash 2, box dash 3 as a class. So let's just use a style. Okay, I'm just gonna go faster. Okay, like you guys like already know. Okay, so we got our, what is this? This is diagonal. You remember our homework last week?
are you talking about the
it,
background images?
huh?
The homework last week?
Yeah, it's just putting it in diagonally, okay? The homework last week was diagonal boxes, something, object or something, you know? So we have 1 in the first line, right? 2, we have the second line, we have 3, and the third line, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's style the numbers now. Okay, looks, you see, you're making it look nicer now. Like you have number 1, number 2, number 3 diagonally. You see how it works? This is one of the questions I've been asked in the interview, to do object diagonally, and I did that like this. Okay.
Okay.
You guys understand it? I have this like on GitHub, so you guys can really see it. So to go through on each line in the CSS, so we have box dash 1, right, which is the class. We make it display flex. Make sure whenever you work with flex, box, or grid, you want to tell the viewer like to view it in a flex style, right? Flex and justify content, flex start. So you're giving this box to flex start, like you're starting from the left side, which is by default. All you remember, like when we start, it used to be 1, 2 over here, and 3 over here, right? But we're telling it to make it just flex start. Okay, so box 2, we make it display flex. Okay, justify content center. We're telling it to make it center. Okay, and aligned center as well. Okay, the box and the number as well, like this is in the center. So class box 3 display flex, justify content, flex end. See at the end right here. In the span, we style the span. We give it a border, the width 50%, heights 100 pixel, right? Margin, we give it a margin in between. Font size, we make it a 100 pixel. We color it some purple color, right? That's how it looks like with a Flexbox. So if you guys want to use it or you know, try to find out like what things works, look, I have it here on my GitHub. Flexbox 1, example 1, Flexbox 2. You know, remember I told you about writing index, type in index like this, so GitHub system can read it. So you leave it like that, index, okay? But if you have multiple HTML file, you can create another file like this, but make sure you have the main index. I didn't connect. I didn't connect. So that's what it looks like. So are you guys okay with Flexbox now? The way things works. Make sure you go back to the example, and also on the Slack we have. I in general I gave you guys this link here. That's how I understand Flexbox. Okay, this link here will tell you everything about like how you can get around with Flexboxes. Okay, this is a good link for it. Also, W3 has a decent introduction to Flexbox. Okay, if you guys, but don't put too much focus on Flexbox. Okay, there's so many things you can learn in CSS. Okay, like don't spend the whole week studying one thing. Okay, that's not how things work. Yeah, you have to really study. Like, okay, let's say usually you don't create navigation with Flexbox, but most of the time I create Flexbox for like if I have 3 row of box here, I can really like I go here, look, try it yourself, and just use this div, okay, as the entry, and then I use this flex display flex, and then I just make it expanded. I expand it to whichever box I want. I fix the size. Like, let me show you guys. So you can really work on like create another one. Like for example, like div, right? So it didn't really give me a description here. You can create a class here, class, right? You can really do your work here, like box, okay? You can create a box here, box. So give them a class, okay? So dot box, right? Width could be like 33.3%. Let's see how it come up. Oh, look, you see? I gave it a width of 33.3, which is like the whole window with the space that we given padding 20 pixel. And then I can make it fixed, like heights could be 300 pixel. Okay, look, I can make 3 images here. Okay, that's how you do it. Like if you want 3 pictures in your browser next to each other, right? 1, 2, 3. You can make it width 33%. Okay, whichever way you want. Like you can make it 200 pixel and then make it like this and put your image here. You get it, Abraham?
Yeah, I get it.
Okay, so that's how it works. Okay, Same thing with grid. You just have to follow some methods, like the grid. You see the grid view. Have you guys watched this before? You see the grid view has 12 columns, okay? Which is like from here. Do you see my arrow here? My hand? From here to here, there's 12 grid, okay? So if you count it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh yeah, the space between the lines are 12, okay? So whenever you have the whole width is 100%, okay? The grid view over here is 12 columns. You see, 12 columns. So for the navigation, let's say you have navigation here, it uses 1, 2, 3, 3 columns. So you might have a picture here. This picture uses 3 columns. The footer here uses 12 columns, okay? 100% widths, okay? That's how you create your CSS once you're done with HTML. And then when you go to your CSS, if you want to make it responsive, and also grid view, that's how it looks on a desktop size. Always is 12, okay? 12 columns. Really important to know. Like when we go advanced CSS in the future, like when we use Bootstrap, you see, like Bootstrap is a framework for CSS, okay? If you see the documentation, the layouts, look, the layouts, it has, sorry. So Bootstrap makes your file or your code for CSS file look lively, okay? It makes it really beautiful and really engaging, okay, site. Like you can see examples, okay? Look at this. You see how this layout looks like? You see how this this image, you can insert image, you can interact like a Facebook, things like that. Okay, you can really take this example, use it on your own. So this is a job of Bootstrap. Okay, you'll learn a lot in the future about this. It's just a simpler and easy way to create um, um, your file. Like for example, to like so let's look a little bit about JavaScript. Okay, we're just gonna talk about it for now. Then I'm gonna move to your project, your GitHub connection. Okay, so JavaScript. We're gonna start JavaScript. It used to be, you remember, it used to be gray color in the background. Now I made it green because usually when people done with like learning CSS, HTML, and when they get to like JavaScript, people like get tired of it. I don't know, some reason, like they think they don't know anything at all. And that's what I felt too in the beginning. Like for so many years, like for a couple of years, like I didn't understand what's the meaning of like JavaScript, why we need to use it. Why don't we just use HTML, CSS? Okay, that's what comes to my mind. Okay, because I didn't have nobody to show me what is JavaScript, but in a way, I learned it through like by watching YouTube, things like that. I learned something, and I learned so much by just keep watching, keep doing projects, small projects here and there. So I learned so much. So what is JavaScript? Okay, JavaScript, in the short term, we call it like JS, is a highly level, often called just-in-time, compiled programming language in multi paradigm. Okay, so we output JavaScript in the form of client side. We call client side is JavaScript is very powerful when it comes to JavaScript. Okay, so you can use it client side when we talk about client side, which means like in a browser. Okay, Chrome, Firefox, um, Safari, and then uh, internet. Okay. So JavaScript enables interactive web pages, and it's essential part of applications. Okay. So a lot of companies, I think almost all companies uses JavaScript, to be honest with you. Like I show you in the beginning, right? Like, whenever we talk about like how to browse in a Chrome and look over your problems, debugging, stuff like that. So we talked about like, how to get around. So all the companies I showed you in the beginning, they all use JavaScript. Okay. So vast majority of website uses it for client-side page behavior, and all major web browsers have dedicated JavaScript engine to execute it. Okay, so that's the meaning of JavaScript. So it's a client side. Don't forget that. I'm gonna ask you next week too. Okay. So
Okay.
so JavaScript, it's what is it? JavaScript. So it's an um, interactive web pages. It's essential. Okay. So when they ask you in the interview, they say, "What is JavaScript?" You say it's a high-level language. Uh, it's not even it's a script language. Okay. It's a programming language. It's multi-paradigm. Nowadays we have so many like uh, so if you look the history of JavaScript, I didn't post it here, but it has a history. Okay. So JavaScript to look front end and back end side of it. Okay. So the front end side of it is like the main language, which is this here, JavaScript. Okay. Once you learn that, you learn about front end and a back end. Back end, front end is part of Angular and React. There's so many frameworks. Okay. So in the back end, you have Node.js and Metro. But by the way, I never used this uh, uh, language before. I never used Metro before, but it's a part of backend. I use Node.js. Like I created a form that is in the client side. It saves the client side name and address and everything, and submit the form. I use Node most of the time. Uh, so 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 to understand about how things works in the front or client side, we have to understand about like the old of architecture and the new ones. Okay. So the old web application architecture does not perform any calculation, only generates the view of the client. Okay. uh, so this means that in the old days, when the browser when you so the browser didn't do anything much. Okay. So it's just, it doesn't calculate that much. It doesn't perform. All it has to do is like um, transferring it to the backend. Okay. So, but nowadays, the new architecture perform non-heavy calculation on the client side itself, generate the view for the client. So it used to send data and request the data, and then it used to get receive and respond back calculation, which calculation means like a data. Okay. It's part of it. So whenever you send request one, we used to receive it from the backend. So but now the new architecture, the new method of doing things are they do a little bit of calculation. Okay. But and then it just, you get the view right away. Okay. You don't need to do the client side or backend side. um, so performs all the calculation upon request. So this is the front side in the old days. Okay, this is the old side in the back side. Performs all the calculation upon request and sends the data to the browser in response. So it was doing too much heavy lifting in the back. Okay, in the old days, it used to do heavy lifting in the back. The front end wasn't doing much. It was requesting message, right? It was requesting data. And the backend used to send all the information from the backend. So in the new days, okay, they do non-heavy calculation, okay, the client side is, but the backend only performs the heavy calculation upon request and sends the data to the browser in response. Okay, so you understand now? So in the old browsers, they won't do no, they don't perform heavy calculations. Okay, they just send, they request the information from the backend, and the backend used to do the heavy lifting for them, and they send them the information what they requested, right? But now they do a little bit of calculation, not too much, but the backend perform the same thing, but send it back to the respond. Okay, so that's what, interaction between front end, back end, client side, back side. That's how they interact. Okay. So
Okay.
what you be learning is command line is part of what we learned today. Data types, conditions and loops, function and scope, object and JSON, DOM. We learn about jQuery. jQuery is a library of JavaScript. Okay. Let's just library. Okay. All right. Okay. So it's a library. Okay. It's a library of JavaScript. Okay. Uh, so so jQuery created back in 2006. Ajax and API. Ajax and API are part of like sending message and receiving and respond. That's what Ajax and API. We're gonna be learning all those. So we're gonna learn deep knowledge about JavaScript. So we're gonna learn asynchronous JS and callbacks. We're gonna learn about prototypes, inheritance, and we learn about Node and Express. You remember we said the backend here, Node. These are the backend. So for your advanced lesson, we're gonna learn uh, Node and Express. Node is a backend, Express also is a backend, but part of Node.js library or framework. So to get really advanced in JavaScript, so this is the advanced course. They call it ES6. ES6 means as ECMAScript 2015. It's really confusing about the version, but you will understand in the future. ECMA 2015. So which means this is electronic computers manufacturers. So like this is like their name. Okay, they have a long name. So this version of JavaScript came out in 2015. So we're gonna be learning about. I think let me learn about Java, right? Java has classes, right?
Yes.
And yeah,
Classes, functions.
yeah, so they have what they call like OOP, which is object-oriented
Programming.
programming. Yes, so that's what we're heading. Okay, after we learn the basic of JavaScript, we're gonna learn about classes, modules, arrow functions. Arrow functions, or the other name for it will be fat arrow. Okay, that's what they call it. Part of function, just like this one here. Destruction, high order array method. This is really advanced. Okay, fetch API. Okay, and I'm gonna be working.
Okay.
So I'm gonna help you guys whichever way I know and everything. We learn so much. Okay. Once we're done with this, guys, I really want you to go back to this. You remember we talked about this, learning algorithms and data structures and algorithms. We're gonna do that for you, so you can find a job. Okay. Um, so like once we learn this, then we go to coding challenges, and we're gonna do some projects. Then we do some exercise, so you can have your interview ready and find a job. Okay. So that's what it looks like. Okay. Um, so next we're gonna look at data types. Okay. I think Nemi knows this part, like, cause all